As part of the resolve to advance and sustain the anti-corruption agenda in Nigerian business space, the United Nations Global Compact Network, in partnership with Siemens Integrity Initiative, hosted the third collective action workshop for micro, small, and medium enterprises in Nigeria. Giving the opening remarks, the co-chair of the Global Compact Nigeria Steering Committee, Mobolanle Victorlanion, shared the essence of the program.
The impact of corruption in Nigeria affects all sectors of the population. However, this challenge undercuts the economic and social structure of communities and greatly impacts the progress of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises who are usually restrained from effectively addressing these issues individually. Corruption in this sector of the economy reduces any chances of increasing human investment and capital. The increasing number of barriers from public provisions decreases the ability to do business appropriately. Non-economic transaction cost keeps the level of enterprise development low in relative terms. Corruption is clearly detrimental to business for all types of company, either large or small. A successful collective action initiative against corruption by Nigerian MSMEs would therefore involve focusing on attaining concrete motivations such as overcoming a specific challenge like limited access to affordable finance, which affects 80% of all MSMEs in Nigeria. A collective action initiative aimed at unpacking risks and uncertainties and reviewing the eligibility criteria to better target well-run, non-corrupt MSMEs would provide the much-needed access to finance that will be strategic in addressing the issue. Supported by the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, Convention on Business Integrity, and the UNGC, such an initiative would very quickly engage policymakers at the highest levels in Nigeria.
Compliance Officer for Siemens Nigeria, Mr. Ibe Itia, in his remarks believed it was important for MSMEs to collaborate and form an alliance on compliance to business rules.
Government policies have not been favorable to MSMEs and SMEs, thereby making them the worst hit sector during times of economic instability. Ease of doing business in Nigeria has improved by 1.08% from 78.9% to 79.98% between 2016 and 2017. However, slow pace of getting the necessary business credentials and documentation is still slow. Reserving a unique company name with the Corporate Affairs Commission, that's the CAC, typically takes about 2 days with 500 naira application form charges to complete. And preparing the requisite incorporation documentation and paying of stamp duties takes about 7 days to complete, and so on. And this has the overall impact of negatively impacting on the nation's transparency index and reducing inflow of foreign direct investments, as well as diminishing global confidence in our system. So as business owners, what is the key? What are the key takeaways? You are required and encouraged to strongly adapt collective action initiatives, such as what this program is themed on, okay, and are also as a veritable method of fighting against corruption. This is because collective action leverages the playing field and creates a business environment with a reduced risk of corruption, as well as creating fair market conditions for all the market participants across all sectors. Industry peers, customers, and other stakeholders must combine hands together and collaborate to fight corruption by creating and establishing joint agreements designed to ensure equal compliance standards.
Mr. Paul Ayim, Associate Partner, Phillips Consulting, in his presentation gave insight into the constraints faced by MSMEs in Nigeria and how they can adopt good business practices to reduce the incidence of corruption.
This sector needs to be given attention because it is not for any reason it is described as the engine of growth. If you look around the world, SMEs are really the engines of growth. In Europe, in America, you will find that those who are the largest employers of labor are indeed SMEs or MSMEs. The trend is not different in Nigeria. And so what you're finding on the screen, for instance, shows clearly that about 96% of Nigerian businesses are SMEs. So we even beat, from a numerical point of view, the records of the US and Europe. Okay, in US, 53% are SMEs, and in Europe, 65%. So you can see that in terms of the number of businesses, Nigerian businesses in that category are indeed a lot. So that helps us to appreciate that this sector cannot be ignored. That whatever either the country or development finance institutions or banks or anybody who is playing a role in this sector needs to do. I like this whole idea of collective action. We need to get that sector working. Yes, access to finance is always described as one of the biggest challenges. It still falls in the top three, but what you can see there shows clearly that the largest circle has to do with poor management. That most of the SMEs do not understand the business principles they need to be able to succeed. And that is why whatever intervention, whatever efforts that are being put in place needs to address that need. Finally, there, in line with what we're discussing today on anti-corruption, that they need to agree to certain business principles that will just say no to corruption, even at that level. And that if all of us collectively, so we talk about this corruption and we've talked so much about it, but yet it continues to happen. Because even in the private sector, even those small SMEs, we still continue to do that. And so it's just talk. Let's move into action. Let's make sure that that begins to stop. So as an SME, I can decide that I will not give, bribe. I will not, offer that small, envelope to try to get business. And if the government is going to treat me fairly, then it should measure me or evaluate me on merit. If I can deliver the business, then give me that business and see me do it.
Stakeholders speak on the essence of the workshop, impact on MSMEs in Nigeria, and the way forward.
Micro, small, and medium enterprises have found that there's a problem of corruption. That problem of corruption actually, it forms the foundation of all the problems they're having. Access to funding, they can't keep their books properly. They don't have the leverage to fight back. So this, brings a lot of more problems. And now that they have identified this, let us work together. You as a UN Global Compact come and help us. NESG, and the local network of the Global Compact, let's work together so that you can help us to address these challenges. That is what collective action is about. And it's a proven method all over the world of fighting corruption.
With regards to short-term vision, you find that most SMEs, or especially the micro businesses, they just think, for the immediate. They are more like, hand-to-mouth type, businesses. Okay, what can we benefit right now? So they're not looking at, 1 year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, how do we grow? If I meddle into corruption now, what impact will it have on me and my business, in another 5 years to come? So because of that short-termic vision, it makes it easy for them to just say, you know what, I don't care what happens. let me make that quick money now and just get going. The last was, limited, financial resources. Because they do not have a lot in terms of, access to finance, they want to grab whatever they find, okay? Because they will say, well, if I do not engage in this, I might just easily die. So for them, it is like a do-or-die affair. So let me just, collect what I can now and move on. So you can see, if you put the three together, if they would think more about how I can grow this business, how I can move this business from this point A to point B, then it will help them to know that, whatever principles I build now, if I'm able to sustain them, then it makes it easier for me to be able to do business in a much bigger way in the future.
All the examples, if you watch them, that they are giving, they are for big companies, where coordination will not be a problem. An MSME person, we still need to bring it down to our level. I agree with the concept. In fact, if you heard it in my speech, okay, the more we are, the louder, that's the way I put it, is our advocacy results. So that supports the idea of collective action. I like it. Fantastic. But we need now to bring it down to how it will work, or it can work with MSMEs.
If you look at the first time we had this workshop, we had a lot of small and medium enterprises. The second time we had about 80. Today we're having over 100 that confirmed their attendance. And those are the ones that confirmed. Those that didn't confirm, that were just working. So you can see that they have seen the impact, that it's important for them, and for their business to be able to survive, to come together, work on a proven platform of the United Nations to address these challenges. And by working not only amongst themselves, they're working also with governments and the large companies, to address this systemic challenge of corruption in the country. Despite the fact that even at the level of government, actions have been taken. Some other private sector initiatives, like the Tonu Elumelu Fund, they have been taking some action, but there has to be, action by every one of us that will be, not in different, piecemeal, but where we can bring all these actions together, the actions together, and be able to have impact and make impact that will help our micro, small, and medium enterprises not to fail within 5 years, but at least to continue as a good business concern. And from there, they will become also large companies. They are the backbone of any economy all over the world, and including here in Nigeria, where they contribute 48% to the GDP of Nigeria. We must take them seriously.
With the third United Nations Global Compact Network Anti-Corruption Workshop for MSMEs gaining momentum with over 100 participants at the moment, the quest for transparency in the Nigerian business environment is gaining traction. This is imperative to incentivize more investments into the economy.